$100, not $1,000, not a bonus, not a windfall from somewhere, just $100. The amount that disappears on a Friday night without a receipt. The amount you've spent on things you can't name by Sunday. The amount that feels too small to change anything and too tight to spare, both at the same time. And I want to tell you a story about two guys who started with almost nothing. Same city, same struggle, same dream, and 20 years later, completely different lives. One of them made the right decision, and I promise you, it wasn't the one you're expecting. Marcus and Daniel grew up in the same neighborhood, went to the same school, had the same conversations about one day making it out, one day building something real, one day having money that didn't run out before the month did. They were close. The kind of friends who tell each other the truth, even when the truth is uncomfortable. At 22, they both got jobs, different companies, different salaries. Marcus landed a corporate role, £34,000 a year. Not rich, but stable. Enough to breathe, enough to start building something if he chose to. Daniel got a job in logistics, £22,000 a year, tighter, less room. Every month was a calculation. Every grocery run had a limit. He knew his account balance by heart without checking it. And they were both broke in the way that most people are broke at 22. Not dramatically, not homeless, just living close to the edge, always one problem away from a bad month, but they had the same dream: build wealth, get free, don't live like their parents did, working until 65 and still not having enough. It was a Tuesday evening. Daniel called Marcus. "I've been thinking," Daniel said. "I'm going to start saving £100 every month automatic into an index fund. I found one that tracks the S&P 500. I'm setting it up tonight." Marcus went quiet for a second. £100? He said. "Bro, you think £100 is going to change your life?" "I think starting changes my life," Daniel said. "The 100 is just what I can do right now." Marcus laughed. "Not mean, just honest. Listen, when I get my raise in a few months, I'm going to save properly. I'm talking £500 a month minimum. I'm not going to waste time saving pennies. When I do it, I'm going to do it right." And that was the difference. Not intelligence, not income, not opportunity. One man said, "I'll start with what I have." One man said, "I'll start when I have more." And right there on a Tuesday evening, the 20-year gap opened. Neither of them could see it yet, but it was already real. Daniel set up the automatic transfer, £100 first of every month. Index fund S&P 500 tracker, he didn't overthink it. He'd spent 3 months overthinking it, and overthinking is what had kept him from starting the year before. He clicked confirm, nothing happened. The account showed £100. The market moved 0.2% and his £100 became £99.80. He checked it 3 times before bed. This is the beginning. And it looked nothing like what he imagined. 6 months in, his balance was £612. He knew it would be around there. And £612 is not a number that changes your life. It is not a number you call your friend to celebrate. It just sits there quietly in an app. Meanwhile, Marcus got a small raise, not the big one he was waiting for, but £2,000 extra a year. He started saving £300 a month. Felt good, felt serious. This is what saving is supposed to look like, he thought. Then his car broke down. The repair was £800. He used the savings, back to zero. "I'll start again next month," he told himself, and he believed it, because Marcus isn't a bad person. Marcus is the most human person in this story. He did exactly what most people do. He used the safety net as a safety net, which sounds right, which is the problem. Daniel had an emergency too that year. His boiler broke, £650, but Daniel didn't touch the index fund. He'd built a separate £500 in cash in a regular savings account, small amounts over time just for life. He used that. The £100 a month never stopped. The machine kept running. 3 years in, let's check the numbers. Daniel has contributed £3,600. His account at an average annual return of 10%, which is roughly what the S&P 500 has averaged historically, reads approximately £4,100. He has £500 more than he put in. That doesn't sound impressive. I know it doesn't. Stay with me. Marcus has saved and restarted 4 times. His current balance is 1,200 pounds. He's saved more per month in his good months. But the emergencies, the lifestyle upgrades, the I deserve this moments, they kept resetting the counter. Here's the thing about resetting the counter that nobody explains properly. Compound interest is not just about money. It's about time. Every time you reset, you don't just lose the money. You lose the time the money had been working. You lose the compounding that was building quietly underneath the balance. You restart the clock. And the clock in this game is the whole game. Daniel never restarted the clock. Here's the lie that Marcus believed, and I want to be direct about this because this is the lie that most people in their 20s believe without knowing they believe it. The lie is a small amount isn't worth starting with. And it sounds so reasonable. It sounds like ambition. It sounds like you're being serious about your future. Why waste time on 100 pounds when you could be saving 500 pounds? But here's what that belief actually costs you. While you wait for the right amount, time is running. Time doesn't pause because your circumstances aren't perfect yet. Time doesn't give you credit for your intentions. It runs on whoever shows up. And whoever shows up consistently, even with 100 pounds, gets the compounding. Everyone else gets the waiting. And the waiting is expensive in a way that's invisible until it's too late. The 100 pounds Daniel invested in month 1. In 20 years, that single 100 pounds at 10% annual return is worth over 670 pounds. Not from adding more, just from time. The 100 pounds Marcus didn't invest in month 1, it bought something. He can't remember what. That is the math of the lie. And there's another thing Marcus got wrong, something that doesn't show up in any spreadsheet. He was using his savings as his emergency fund. And when you do that, you never build either. Every emergency drains the savings. Every time the savings gets drained, the habit breaks. Every time the habit breaks, you're starting over. And starting over at 28 feels different than starting over at 22. It feels heavier. You start to wonder if it's just not for you. It's not that it's not for you, it's that the structure was wrong. Daniel built 2 things, a small cash cushion for life, and an untouchable investment that he treated like a bill. The investment didn't know about his emergencies, and his emergencies didn't know about the investment. They never met. That separation is not a financial trick. It is the entire foundation. 10 years. Let's stop here because this is where something changes, Daniel. 120 months of 100 pounds, total contributions 12,000 pounds, account balance at 10% annual return, approximately 20,500 pounds. He has 8,500 pounds more than he deposited. And in the last year alone, the portfolio returned roughly 1,700 pounds without him lifting a finger. Not from a raise, not from overtime, from shares he bought over 10 years, compounding into each other. His money is making money, not at a life-changing pace yet, but at a pace that is starting to feel real, starting to feel like something that belongs to him. Marcus at year 10 has approximately 9,000 pounds saved. He got more serious in years 7 and 8. He's doing well. He thinks the gap between him and Daniel is small. He doesn't know yet. The gap is not about the current balance. The gap is about the clock. Daniel's clock has been running for 10 years. Marcus's clock has restarted 3 times. You cannot buy back the years when the machine wasn't running. And this is not a story about Marcus being irresponsible. Marcus paid his rent. He helped his family when they needed it. He lived a life. He is not the villain. He just believed a lie. And the lie had a price tag he couldn't see until year 10. 20 years. Daniel is 42. He has contributed 24,000 pounds. That's 100 pounds a month for 20 years. His account balance approximately 76,000 pounds. He has 52,000 pounds more than he ever deposited. The machine is the primary contributor now. He puts in 1,200 pounds a year. The account grows by roughly 7,000 pounds a year on its own. He is almost a passenger. He still drives a normal car. He didn't quit his job. He didn't start a business. He did not time the market. He did not pick the right stock. He just didn't stop. Marcus at 42 has built something He got serious at 30 and has been consistent for 12 years. He's not behind in life, but his investment account sits at £41,000. The gap between them is £35,000. And the gap is widening because Daniel's compounding is accelerating and Marcus's is earlier in its curve. That £35,000 gap was not created by income. Marcus earned more for most of those years. It was created by 8 years of not starting. By the time he started, Daniel's money had already been working for 8 years, and those early years are the most powerful years. The early contributions are the ones that compound the longest. The early years are the ones Marcus spent waiting for the right amount. I want to say something now that is not about numbers. Money is a tool. That's it. It doesn't define you. It doesn't change who you are at your core. What it does, what building this habit does, is it improves your discipline. And your discipline shapes your life in ways that reach far beyond any account balance. Because when you commit to 100 pounds a month and you keep that commitment through the months when it's hard, through the emergencies, through the corrections, through the years when the account barely moves, you are building a version of yourself that keeps commitment. And that version of yourself makes better decisions everywhere. At work, in relationships, in every room you walk into. The money is the proof. The discipline is the point. The person investing 100 pounds a month and the person waiting to invest 1,000 pounds a month arrive at 40 completely differently. One has 40 years of compounding and a relationship with patience that cannot be bought. The other has an intention, a good one, but still just an intention. And here's the hardest truth in this whole video. The bigger paycheck is coming for most people, the bonus, the raise, the better year, and when it comes, the habit of waiting comes with it. The money expands into the life. The life expands to receive the money, and nothing gets built because the structure was never there. Small and consistent is not a consolation prize for people who can't do more. It is the mechanism. It is how the machine runs. So here is where I'm going to leave you. Not with a chart, not with a projection, with a question. What is your 100 pounds? Not what you wish you could save. Not what you plan to save when things get better. What can you put away right now, today, this week, on a recurring basis and not touch? Maybe it's 100 pounds, maybe it's 50 pounds, maybe it's 30 pounds. It doesn't matter what the number is. What matters is that it moves every month without a conversation, without a decision, without a negotiation, because the decision has already been made. You made it by watching this video. Now you just have to set up the transfer. Daniel didn't build 76,000 pounds in 20 years because he was special. He built it because he started on a Tuesday evening when the amount felt embarrassingly small and the future felt impossibly far away. And he didn't stop. That's all it takes. That has always been all it takes. The machine is open. It runs on whatever you give it. Give it something. Give it now. If this hit different, if this is the video that makes you finally set up that transfer, hit like and subscribe to this channel because there's a lot more where this came from. I'll see you in the next one.